All right, we are ready to rock. And once that rocking takes place, then we'll have achieved the rock. But before any of that has to happen, I want to welcome you to Chess Please. My name is Andy Line. This is episode 10, The Dirty Dime. Chess Please, episode 10. We are live and in chive. So let me just double check that this has all gone squeaky clean, that we are appearing somewhere in the world. It's okay if not. As I said, this is Chess Please episode 10. You're more than welcome. If you're returning, you know what we're all about. If this is your first time here, what we do here is we play some intermediate to novice chess. I try to talk through my moves. I try to get a little bit better each time. But to be honest, it doesn't always work down like that. So, in that regard, we're going to start off with a couple of just a little bit of bites, just to shake off the cobwebs. I am on a journey to 1400, at least my rating range. I want to get to 1400, which you'll see here. I'm actually moving quite steadily backwards from that. I did reach it 1 week, but that's neither here nor there. But we'll get back there in the end. You gotta trust the process. We're in a dip right now. The Blitz games are going to play 3 minute with a 2 second increment. Again, just gonna fire off some of the heebie-jeebies which we might be experiencing. And our first Blitz game will get underway against a Canadian player called Come On VIP, Come On VIP, I believe. And we're gonna take it pretty ham and cheesy in this one. Just gonna play it right by the book. Get our bishop out, get our pieces out. Of course, we're going to do the bishop's opening here if we can. His knight comes out. Their knight comes out, I should say. Mine does too. Just going to defend here. They're going to attack here. And they get their bishop out. Okay. A very, very active open. Again, remember, this is not the 10-15 minute games or the 15-minute games. So a few snap decisions might be made here. For the time being, I'm just developing my pieces, not doing any sort of nothing crazy. And to end, I want to get my bishop out, probably here. So I'm just going to do this. These are much more frantic games, but they are a lot of fun. This is Blitz, not bullet chess. We have played a couple of bullet games on here before. Bullet games generally under the 1 minute or 2 minute mark. Bananas. Utterly bonkers. Let's see if we can kick this bishop out. I'm thinking bonk, bonk. This is what I would call a rock star bishop. Just has everything going for it right in the middle of the board, long diagonal, pointing directly at the king. None of that I like. So I'm just going to start chasing it. Just going to bug it. Bugs him alone. And the bugging can continue. Fire with them, play this move, and it sort of shuts that down. That's fine. But we've gained. This is one thing I said. Like, you spending time chasing this bishop away, we're still getting up the board with these lads, and that might come in to things generally in games where a lot of reduction happens, or like trading happens. Advanced pawns in the endgame is all she wrote. If you can get a queen first, generally you're gonna win. But we gotta get there first. And that is no mean feat. Very close game. Opponent playing quite well, I have to say. So now that we have these advanced pawns, this bishop is still a rock star. Still on this absolutely quiche diagonal. So, and this, my bishop, it's not bad. It's looking towards the king side where their king is, but I'm gonna offer them a trade. I'm gonna say, hey, let's get these dark square bishops off the board, because I think that their threat is greater than mine, and also this trade for me opens up this file for my rook, which again by my own rockstar bishop, which we haven't talked about, flown under the radar. That's happy days. But this one they just have to take with the queen. Not a bad move. Or as I say, they can absolutely take with that remove that knight into proceedings. That's a good move. Good developing move. So now I might try. If they don't take this bishop trait now, it might just be a sacrificial lamb. By which I mean skadoosh. Just gonna crack it open like an egg. And there's some pretty dangerous stuff we can do after that. But okay, now they take it. At each stage, I've had semblances of plans, and at each stage they have been rightly torn down by my opponent. Well played. Very nicely done, sir. Or madam. Or whatever you prefer. I don't think we're in too rough shape here, though. The game is still very even. And quite standard, one might say. This knight no longer a potent force. Knight there is okay. Where's it going to go? Here, here, yeah. Here, dead, dead. No, that's okay. I'm alright with that. I'm going to make a similar passive enough looking knight move. And it's going to be this. Now, what I didn't check, because of time, was where this knight can go. And I should have checked it. In order to... Because when this knight moves, there's an attack on my knight over here. Knights on the rim are grim or dim. Any number of pejorative terms for a knight on the rim. But this is one of the reasons why they can be attacked from way far away. And because that hasn't happened, they didn't move their knight here. I'm genuinely quite chuffed at that. So what is going to be happening instead is just knight into a much, much more dangerous square, which is this f5 square, attacking the king, attacking this pawn, attacking here, attacking here. It's gone crazy. It's gone buck wild. Also frees up this square. So this was what's known as a rerouting or rerouting of the knight, depending on what side of many oceans you tend to hail from. There's probably some finicky tactics I could do here. This would be the main one I want to try. Threatening mate here with the queen and the knight. Knight covering here. Oh, we are running out of time. Take. Ooh. That's a bad move, but that's fine. We don't have the luxury of making good moves anymore. We've got 15 seconds left. Not only is the time shorter, the incremental time that you get for each move you make is also shorter. If this knight moves at all, we're just going to have to take back the queen if it moves to any sort of dangerous square. That's a fair move. That's a really fair move. 8 seconds left. Ooh, boop. Bubble boy. 8 seconds left still. This is nothing but chaos. I'm just picking moves that I see aren't unmitigated disasters. Holy guacamole, I don't know how this is going to shake down. Ooh. Sorry, commentary is going to be dreadful for the next few moments. See? That was good, wasn't it? Oh, fine, I'll just take that. I'll take this pawn, and the game will be mine. Oh, big attack coming. Whatever you are. 4 seconds. They've only got 3 seconds left. Let's not be too hasty here, Jenny. And we've won on time. Yes! Come on! That is pure mastery of the game of chess. You cannot play better than that. Yeah, really, really nothing too shabby about that one, if I say so myself. Let us crack on with some more chess. I think now that we got the win under the skin, I'm going to go back to 15-10. Let's be having you. Proper game. I'm not going to get as lucky and escape this time. That was a robbery. We're playing Brautaset from Norway. And they've started with their I don't know what they're playing. Some sort of white variation of the Sicilian, which I don't know how to deal with. I'm gonna live with you folks here, but that's all right. Let's stick to the principles. Get our pieces out. Get them in the middle. This is the English opening, apparently, which I've heard about. Never studied. But that's above my pay grade, really. Now then, I think we can just take a little piece of the center for ourselves right now. Can we? No, miscalculated straight away. 1, 2, 1, 2. Good start. We can recover. They'll be smelling blood, no doubt. Still got those blitz reflexes, just saw a piece. Didn't do the counting. Counting by which I mean, when I move this piece, I figured here it'd be safe because I've got 2 defenders and they've got 2 attackers. But they don't. They have 1 more. 3 is a larger number than 2. And that's where chess, that's where it hangs on. Hangs in the balance. So what can we do now? We're still only a pawn behind. I feel like an older version of me might have just, or a younger version of me, maybe an older version too, hopefully not, would have just been obdurate once the pawn gets taken here, to not see my error, just take with the knight and be down a full piece. We're down a pawn and we're threatening to take it back right away, so it's not dreadful. We've got 3 pieces developed. They were 2. It's not worth the pawn we've lost already, but you know, c'est la vie. I'm gonna force the issue here. Just don't want this pawn hanging out right here in the jewel of the Nile, the diamond in the rough. A well supported pawn on d5. It spells bad news for me. Very bad news, grim news. And I'm glad to see that they don't want it now, Mal. I think I'll take with a knight. Just keep this pawn pairing over here. And they might make a late run down the board. And then this. Righty-o then. Might spend a bit of time on this next move. Plan of an attack. Bishop's a very strong defensive piece. Could try and lure it out, but don't really have enough pieces for that. This is my last piece to get developed. And I'm sort of thinking here It's a nice little pin of the knight on the queen. That is actually alright, because this pawn actually can't advance until king moves across here. They might see that move, but if they have to spend time doing that while I'm getting my bishop out, c'est la vie. You gotta crack a few eggs to make an omelette. You gotta crack a few eggs to play a game of chess. Metaphorical. And oftentimes very, very literal. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. This move. This move is not bad. Threatens here. Indirect threat here, or pressure building here. That pawn might just have to die. I think everything else here is fine. If we can find a good move. My eyes lit up for a sec because I thought I didn't see this knight. But why don't we just try and exercise that knight? I feel like it's got to be pretty soon. If I can get this knight out of there. The only way I could see doing that is just bish bosh, which doesn't quite work. So if we just do one though, that does solve my problem of queen attacking here. Defends the bishop. Yeah, it's fine. We'll take it. I think if this pawn wants to come up and try to chase this bishop away, we can draw arms at that stage. We can reduce the game down a bit. We have enough in there. Alright. So still no movement. This knight I see no longer doing much active service. Whereas this knight here, well, that could be interesting. It's a bit of a nasty move. Queen here, knight's going to take here. Then queen comes up here. And things can happen. Things can happen now. A buxom attack here on the king. King in a nice little hidey hole. Pressure with the barrage or the barricade. There's a proper name for it when you just have your queen and your bishop on the same diagonal. Maybe barricade? I don't think so. Barrage. You get the idea. Much like in Lord of the Rings Two Towers, when the lads downstairs had the battering ram. It might actually be called a battering ram. A battery, that's what it's called. Put your dictionaries away. Put your chess-based dictionaries away. I've got you covered. Never fear. Never fear again. Truth be told, though, we're probably still behind in this game. That's not a bad move with the old nighty whitey. What I do like about this knight move is that it no longer protects this square, which I've got ideas upon later on. So why don't we play it nice and slow? If I drop my queen back here, what dreadful things can happen to me? The knight can't hit me on the next go. Also doesn't have the best selection of squares to go to if it doesn't want to retreat. And I like that the queen can then come and support this bishop over here. So this is what I'm going to do. It's a retreating move. I couldn't find anything very nice tactically. Let me just double check that here. Nothing really jumping out at me. Nah, let's do this for now. I want to get my rooks into the game as soon as I can. As soon as makes sense. Right now, I'm happy with this bishop here, with this pawn blocking it in, and this bishop blocking it on the other side. It's not quite a wasted piece, as I said. It's pulling up trees on the defensive side of things, but on the attacking side of things, it's not. Enjoying the game though after a brutal start. Let's just go back to that dreadful opening again. Here, all fine, grand, sounds good. And then incorrect. See it again. This one didn't do me sums right. But we're back in the action. Queen is now advanced. So, what I believe could come here is this. It's also a protector of the knight, although it already was. So this would probably be the main thing. Sorry, that. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do knight, X-ray, and the queen here. If they don't sort that out, they do need to sort this out because, and they don't have a lot of great ways to do that actually. Basically, this bishop can sort of Harry carry himself against this f pawn here, just kill itself, and get a check on the king. The king has to move, but all the while that's happening, the rook is now got its knife and fork out, and it's ready to feast on that queen. So a move of the queen is really required here, or a bigger threat from the white pieces. In general, if that doesn't happen, do want to be conscious of this knight, just picking up a free pawn there. Queen is covering for the time being, but who knows how time will make fools of us all. Indeed, a Rooney. This is a pickle. Okay, queen drops back. It's a good move. Now the knight can move probably here. No. I think where the knight can move, that's annoying. The knight is back here. I think this is a potentially nice move. Bishop there. Reason being, bishop will attack the rook and the knight at the same time. I'm also attacking the knight with the queen. A knight move. I'm trying to think, is there anything nasty this knight can do? The worst I see happening is a queen trade. There's no check that they can level on me, and I don't see a good way for them to stop this. We enter the middle game. protected. I don't have to respond to it just now. I think this is a pretty okay attack. So, we thought this was going to happen. Knight back here protects the queen. Our queen is protected. I don't want to forget. We can use that somehow. Bishop for the rook definitely seems like what I want to do. But do we do the queen first and get this rook? Very alienated. No, I don't think so. I think we bank the rook as it's known. Just have that in the chamber. Actually, I don't know if I want my knight to end up here. Yeah, okay, for this to happen first. I don't want to trade bishops for this knight. This knight is in no man's land a bit. And also this is a great outpost square for this bishop because no pawn here, no pawn here, here or here, and there won't be. So it'll have to be a trade-off for this bishop to get to slot, which is great news. I think if we just go about our business, we should be all right. Definitely want to do that in an accurate way. I think knight in here is annoying. Attacks on that piece. Ooh, it's a nice little play. Yeah, it's not bad at all. So what's happened here is a little pin or a skewer. Bishop on the knight. I don't know what to do. So if I bring the pawn up here, this pawn can come up and it's curtains for this knight for a pawn. If I move the rook now, knight gets taken straight away. That's a full piece. What I'm thinking is something along the lines of knight takes here, check. Then king here. At which point we no longer have any checks to level up. So, also was thinking this, but after that, that doesn't really solve anything. Shite. Okay, nice little counterplay here by Brautaset. This is my best candidate move so far. Actually, maybe it's not. What is this? Now this looks crazy, but I see that this pawn is only getting weaker. Tracy Beaker. So yes, we might lose the knight, but their king is very exposed and our pieces are a lot more active. So I'm going to try and close the net here. Yeah. Shout out Andy Williams. The boys are back in town. Andy Williams, Connor Higgins. Shout out to the males. Never forget that season. Exceeded all expectations at a canter. But I'm paying the piper now for winning so much back then. That's quite alright, boys. A couple of other shout outs. Steve O'Shannon, if he's out there, said he was a big fan of the show. I know he tunes in a good bit. So, Steve O, this one's for you. James Brandon made a lovely bit of fan art for ourselves this week. It was it was the podcast logo with my face had been changed to Beth Harmon, fictional character from The Queen's Gambit. And for the second time in my life, I thought it was Matty Brandon, but it's James. And the thing about that is it's a different name that isn't his, so that didn't really work as a shout out. But yeah, stay strong, everyone. Yeah, alright, boys. Welcome to the chess. This one's a tricky old game enough. Favorite Chinese takeaway in Dublin. Good shout, Andy Williams. I am based out of Rathmines, so I use New Empire a lot. Exclusively and explicitly the spice bag. Only the spice bag out of New Empire. Everything else is fine. If you're going for more general, more authentic Chinese fare, Xi'an street food on well, whatever that restaurant is in or whatever that street is where Bunsen in town is and Kyo's is, South Anne Street maybe. But Xi'an street food on there. Quiche. Top quiche. Alright. So this is what we thought was gonna happen, wasn't it? Which is fine. So what I want to do here is either level a check, which is nice. What about yourself, Williams? The Gonzaga boys lived around here. I'm very new to the Rathmines, Rathgar, Ranelagh, the whole suite of Raths really in Dublin. So I'm only really now getting to grips with how much it has to offer, which is loads, but also actually, I don't know if we need to even do anything with this knight because of this rook. Because if pawn takes and it's check, that's a nasty check, and then we'll just take back with our pawn. If bishop takes, pawn takes, same again, pawn can't take because it's forked. So why don't we just get on with our lives? And what does that entail? This life getting on with. I'm gonna clear the errors. I can still take here. Maybe let's get ourselves in position. So basically, if they don't action it, if they action it now, happy days. We got a bit of a check. We'll get the bishop back. If not, then we can finally move this knight in here and then in here. which I think would actually give it away. But this is also now safe enough for the night. The fork or the skewer has been solved with this pawn. So it's we've been in worse straits. I was panicking there for a sec. Still am to a degree. This person is much more highly rated than me. They've taken, which we're okay with. We'd sort of forecast. Let's take back. If they give us the option, I'm going to take with this rook and then actually probably just scoot this fella over here. My rook on C to the F file and just go at him with both barrels. So that's alright, they've got their bishop into the game. But as we mentioned, actually that's... They resigned. Yes, they resigned. Come on, Ireland! Come on! Come on, Ireland! Wonderful stuff. Brilliant, brilliant news. So, that is... It is over, right? Yes. We did win that one. Quick recap. Mistake I made early doors was this move here. I never know how to name the moves. D7 to D5 with this pawn, because I thought that I had enough to take a control over the center with my knight and my queen, but 1, 2, 3 against 2. It's fine. That was okay though. Made a nice little recovery move there. Played on a bit here, trying to see where we managed to gain a bit of initiative. I think we just cut our pieces out a little bit better. This knight move was okay. We had some pretty nasty stuff. This bishop was tucked in a little bit far, couldn't really get into the game, whereas this one was patrolling this whole quarter of the board. Knight took there, that was fine. Queen took, obviously just a nasty little threat here, and this undefended or open piece, open square, ended up being useful to us when this knight moves away. There was a bit of messing over here. This was a nice move, I thought. Again, the engine will probably say it was a mistake. But queen to d7, I thought just got it back in the game in the best possible way. Queen up here didn't really answer a lot of the questions we had. So we got the knight in there to threaten a little X-ray. Queen moves back, put right back in its corner. This bishop move was where the game really turned for us. Attack on the rook and a double attack on the knight. Didn't have enough to solve both problems. Traded off queens because we were going to be ahead by an exchange, which was what happens when you trade a bishop for a rook. Yada yada yada. And then this little fork resolved itself with pawn move. Then I realized we've got check here, and actually we held all the cards from now. Reason they resign here, I think this rook move is devastating. King only has this square or this square to go to. Rook comes down here. It's messy. It doesn't look good for them. Happy days. Thank you, Shano. Shout out to you, Shano. Finally, you've been here for the losses, Shano. You know well. You know well how rare this is. He gonna do one more. We're gonna do at least one more tonight, and then maybe again do some more blitz to finish it off. But 1325 looks so much more respectable than 1315. They're all respectable ratings. This is chess. It is a game for fun. I don't know. Once you put a number on it, I'm like, I want a bigger number. I want more. Even though I enjoy every single game. That last game, cash. I loved how it worked out. So, here we go. Nice be having you. Round 2. We are playing ARMSF from Brazil. And they have gone with the chess. They've gone with chess here. And we will respond in kind with even more chess. No, I was trying to say the name of this attack. The Nyezmetdinov Rosalimi attack. That's why I paused. Didn't think I was going to nail it. And then I nailed it. Alright, let's get our pieces out. Traditionally in the Sicilian, I found myself getting pretty weak on this E file to attacks from rook across, queen across, bishop here. So I don't want that to happen. And I don't want ARMSF to make that happen for me. So I'm going to resolve this bishop threat. I think that's a bit passive. I think I actually can grab in the middle now if I want. Probably not so much anymore. Yeah, that's fine. It's okay. This maybe? Let's just start getting some pieces out. Who's the best? Dum 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 dum. Remember that song? Swalla? Came out about 4 or 5 years ago. Jason Derulo was on it. It was kind of good. Swalla la la. Bet you haven't listened to that song in a good while. Decent tune though. Certainly not bad. Okay. Trying to learn from the last game. Do we have enough to take the center? 1, 2, 3. I get versus 1, 2. The answer is we do. And I'm going to try this, which is a pawn move, as you can see. One move they have in response is to take en passant, which is one of the freak moves, which is here. If they do, I'll take with the bishop, and I'm happy with that. So let's play ball. If they don't, they did. Oh, a little pop-up came up in the corner, said learn about this move, because it is a weird one. I think a lot of people see this weirdness happening and they actually report cheating. They said that somebody's hacked the system, cheated at the game of chess. And in many ways, they have, compared to the traditional way of playing. So one thing I always ask myself when a pawn trade is offered like this, or a pawn break, is basically what happens if I don't take it. Is there anything nefarious going to happen if I don't take it? And if I don't take it, they'll take back. We just take with the bishop. A better position for the bishop. A little discovered attack on the queen with the queen, but to be honest, if I don't take, I'm going to castle. If they push, as in if they just move on in here, that's fine. We take. It's a little weirder, but nothing crazy. So I think I'm just going to castle here. I don't have to spend time. And it also, if I take here, it just lets them get their queen in the game. There's actually nothing in it for me. It sounds and feels tempting. Just peace, take it. I'll take that pawn. And oftentimes, I like what's bets when I come back and analyze this game. They'll be like, "Bro, just take it, man." Because it will undouble this pawns. It's a C pawn for a D pawn. All this kind of shit. Just can't keep track of that stuff. So I figure it's not a disaster not to take it. So here we are. You keep talking way too much. So now there is a bit of trickery or annoyingness, you might say, because this knight can now take in here, or even bishop can or pawn can take in here, and I'm overloaded. It's undefended. So maybe now is the time to do the taking. The taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. If I take, queen comes up, knight comes in. Some pretty funky stuff, if I'm honest. Actually, it's fine. The reason it is fine is because of no, that was not a great calculation. That's okay. Basically, I was thinking if this knight moves, it did. If this knight moves, then what I would have been able to do is similar thing to what we were thinking about in the last game. A discovered attack with a bishop sort of crashing through. So this bishop goes Harry-Carry, checks the king, king has to move, queen romps home and takes the other queen. Doesn't really matter. They've got their rook there. No real benefit to us. So that it is now a different ballgame. Double attack here on the knights. Now this attack becomes a runner again. Let's see if they spot that. Bishop out is what they need to do. I think this wins. Crash on through, that's check. You gotta resolve that, brah. We take here. We take here. They're actually gonna take our... I don't know what's gonna shake down here. They're 2 ahead. We're 1 ahead. We're 1 pawn ahead after a massive reduction. I'd be choppier with my position, but definitely want this knight to die. I want it to perish. I'll move it here. Basically, I'm seeing the knight can come in here, fork the king and the bishop. Don't want that to happen. So if I move my bishop here, knight can still come in here. Then king moves here. Knight can go here for check, here for check, or here for check, or here for check. That's fine. That's okay. You keep talking way too much. These move. things to be aware of. Bishop very annoyingly pinned back. My rook is just waiting to pounce on here, so I would like to keep that as the status quo if I could. I'm going to keep this bishop safe, really, is my top priority. And I think this is the way to do it. I was considering doing here. Just threaten this, make sure this knight can't really move. Leave its post, essentially. But yeah, I don't know. Just like that a little better. Right, it's time to go. Tit for tat. They might pick up a pawn here. I don't really mind. I certainly don't want them to pick up 2 though. So let's say they pick up 0. I do want to trade down pieces here if I can. Very deliberately deliberating. Because I don't really. This pawn looks pretty hung. Actually, why don't we just leave the knight here? Why don't we just leave him here? Pick him up in the morning. And get to work on some of the other pieces. A bit of a safety valve for my king. Also, kind of want to bring my king the bowed. Just chasing me away. Just like the rest of them. So a lot of their pieces pretty locked in tight, which I adore. My knight, maybe I'm being a little overcautious, but again, I've been pretty stung in the past with past pawns legging it down, and we're not that close to a checkmate here. I don't see a huge opportunity. Oh, I do. Not particularly. Well, now that that knight has moved, my knight can move too. And I will. Let's let me check. And they've resigned. Happy days. They had a little bit more in the gas tank here, but this is a fork on the king and the bishop. King can obviously move, but this bishop is double attacked, and there's nothing you nor I nor they can do to change that. Happy days, 2 wins. Let's try and eke another quick one out, by which I mean exactly as long as the previous ones, and see how we end up. And then I'm gonna go and hang out with my wife. The Smith Mora Gambit. Smithy and Mora. Queen out early doors. One of the main reasons you don't bring your queen out early doors, unless you know what you're doing, is I can develop this knight, as I was going to do anyway, but I do it with tempo, i.e. I'm attacking their queen. So I gain time because they really have to deal with that next. The queen is the easiest piece to attack because if you attack with any other piece, that's a bigger deal for them than it is for you. Which is great. And now we see that coming to pass. Still just going to do the same. Just going to go for the center. And they'll have 1, 2, 3. We'll have 1, 2, 3. We're all right. I think what you're supposed to do is maybe this. I think that is an option. That's interesting. Interesting move. I hope this isn't just some sort of fiendish trap they're comfortable with. I'm in no hurry to move that knight. Just defend it alright. And the pin is no more. Right, now we're into the middle game. My main goal here, build as much pressure as possible on this square here. Just as I said that, they've done this little annoying knight move. But you know what? Just tuck my bishop back in here. And the only way into this fortress is through the dark squares. And guess who's sitting in there? The veritable who's who of controlling dark squares. That's the dark square bishop. Try and jimmy this knight out of here. Jimmy Connors, US Open champion 1990. Thank you again, Chano. True blue, buddy. Hope you're keeping well. Hope Sarah May's doing alright. And staying safe. Yeah, I really want the pressure on this pawn to just be untenable. Right, they gave up that pawn a little easy, which is always good to see. I think we've got mate here. And I'm kind of glad. I don't think I wanted to do a full one. I think this is mate, unless I'm being a grade A bologna sandwich, which wouldn't be like me. But if it is mate, and I think it is, that's going to be the end of the stream, folks. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for tuning in. Channel, Williams, Higgins, anyone else that managed to stumble their drunken way into this stream. I hope you had a good time. I had a great time. Played some lovely chess tonight. Really enjoyed it. If you're watching this back later on, let me know how you got on. Let me know if you have any feedback, anything you change. I'm having a good time learning chess with y'all. And we're getting a little better each week. Maybe. Not falling for the same shit we fell for last week. Here's a knight fork, which, again, you'll know we fall for every single time. Doesn't matter if you've got mate, pal. Whoosh. Alright, 3 for 3. Not gonna gild the lily. We're gonna end it there. Thank you very much for your time tonight, folks. Thank you very much wherever you're tuning in. This has been Chess Please. My name is Andy Line. If you like what you see, you like what you hear, smash that subscribe, smash that like button. Check us out on Instagram under Podcasts Podcast. We've also got a podcast, as that should tip you off. It's on Spotify. It's called Podcasts. It is actually unreal. I'm a huge fan of it, and I hope we get to make some more soon. That's all from me, folks. Take it easy. Ta-ra. Chess, please.